Hey guys, me and team here, and welcome to the final game of the placement league for Starcraft 2. This is my last 2-on-2 placement league game, so depending on this, I will be placed either in bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. And yeah, we're actually looking from the enemy's perspective here, so that's not necessary. I showed other things in APM in the last game, so I'll go back to APM here. Wow, Red's really spamming. For a moment I thought this guy knew me, but that's kind of vanity because there's only a couple thousand people who know me, so there. And hopefully he hasn't been watching my videos, so he doesn't know what to expect yet. And yeah, it's just another 6-pull rush opening. Should be about ready to do it. Yeah, here we are. 6 slings in about 2 minutes 20. If you guys know a faster way of getting those guys out, let me know. I don't think so, though. I think that's pretty much the limit, and you gotta work from there. Yeah, he realizes his peril here because he went gas. So I'll slow it down here. And nothing. He's got a spawning pool coming. Now, unfortunately for me, his allies almost got a spawning pool up too, and they both have their pools in places where I can't really do much. So I'm just going to try to cause as much economic slowdown on his end as possible. Try and pay back the investment for my doing this so quickly. But I don't have long, because now this guy's got lings coming. But I have some extras, and just before their lings can do any of it too much, well, they'll kill me off. But I actually killed quite a number of drones here. So actually, this wasn't as bad as I thought it might be, because he's down to 11 fly now, and I'm at 13. So it's a decent distraction. But this is the first time my 6-pull rush didn't really push me out in front. So I'm going to speed it up again. At this point, I just backed off and decided to camp the Zelnaga tower for a possible counterattack. Yeah. I'm still not sure whether he was impressed by that tactic or not. If it were 1-on-1, he would have been toast, but this isn't 1-on-1. And people defend against the lings a little bit more avidly in 1-on-1, so you gotta take what you can get. Yeah, these guys had speed lings at that point, and I was screwed, so I figured I might as well at least fight back, rather than die trying to run away. Now, purple, I guess sensing my potential vulnerability here, decided to cover for me. Gloop. So thanks for that, Gloop. He camps off the front and has decent defense for the Zerglings. And once again, I just threw a random expansion up. That's to try to get back into the economy game. Hopefully I can survive. But I'm going to run into more problems here. I also put up a couple of these just in case they try to do like a Zergling blitz right past, like I frequently do. But I think the Protoss has that walled off pretty nicely. This was a mistake. I did not intend to do this. I forgot I'd waypointed. Fortunately, I wasn't caught, because that would have sucked. And I'm just trying to build up some income at this point. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting there. I'm doing nicely on minerals. Absolutely terrible on gas, but I want to build up a mineral base first, so I can then convert to gas and get tons of gas at once. Similar to the last game, I'm the only person who's expanded thus far, and once again, there's been no real effort to block it. Now, granted, this time I hid my expansion, so well, I didn't hide it, but I put it in unusual spots so they didn't catch it. Oh, I missed. Yeah, I can go back. Let's see here. Here we are. This is a point of trouble for me coming up. This guy has mutalisks, and he decides to harass me with them, and I just have no answer to them at all, other than my queen. which isn't the best thing in the world. Where are the Mutalisks? Here they are. Yeah. So he brings those in, and that hoses me. I'm like looking at this, like, ah, hell. They start going after the queen. For whatever reason, they keep going after the queen. I guess they wanted to kill it, but it's not going to be that easy. And then I get help. And look at that, 22 hit points left on the queen. And I come back in there, and that hurt me, but not as much as the rush hurt them earlier. So, whatever. Still well ahead of everybody on minerals income. At this point I need gas, though, and I start addressing that. I mean, pretty much 4 extractors going up here. I don't know why they did this. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But, the Protoss red Zergling all the way. And the Colossus are two, really, that's going to hose them. They have so little of anything else. Apparently that got their attention. Here we finally have expansions going up for the other guys. And I'm well more than saturated mine. And finally getting some gas going. I'm actually in the lead on the gas income now. So it's just going to be a matter of time. I mean, I don't know, these guys though, if they were going to go Lings, I should probably press their advantage rather than just massing up the Lings. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen a lot of pro players play like me either, but I definitely haven't seen a lot of pro games where they just mass Zerglings and sat in one spot the whole time. So what can you do? This is pretty defenseless. I think in the future I'll invest in a few spine crawlers, especially given that I have way too much money. So it's hard for me to spend it. And I actually need to invest in extra hatcheries. And once again, I'm going to go Hydralisks, because I just like Hydralisks. It kind of depresses me that they're not tier 1.5 anymore, but they're actually tier 2. So alright, let's pick this up, because not much is happening. Here we go. Another attack on my worker line. This time, I didn't put a lot into it, but I've got some spore crawlers that are going to distract them. And I've got some Hydralisks on the way, so they don't have long, and the Protoss helps me out, which is really useful. Because that's just all the time I needed him to buy before Hydralisks started coming out to cause trouble as well. Yeah, it goes for my overlords. I actually have a lot of overlords and a lot of excess minerals, which I should be spending. I think these guys have excess gas instead. So a little bit shoddy macro on everyone's part, not just mine. Oh wow, he's way too much. Yeah. What can you do? I should probably head on to my minerals sooner and count the number of drones I have per resource cluster, because I'm probably overbuilding mineral drones and I could be getting more gas. And here once again they have corruptors and air and just a whole lot of lings. We catch them out of position though. Or more like my ally catches them out of position. And they built their expansions. Blue's doing a pretty good job of it. He's actually saturated. Red isn't saturated yet, though. He should be working on it as much as he can, but he's got idle larva. That's one thing I don't do a lot, is have a lot of idle larva. What I probably need to do is just get a better sense on when I'm building hatcheries and when to build more hatcheries so that I always have a steady stream of units, but I don't overbuild them to the point where I have idle larva. And that would go a long way to improving my play, I think. So We're pretty even on army, other than Red's a little behind. Yeah, at this point I'm getting nervous about their expansions. One of my favorite things in this game is just to, well, I call it expo lock, and basically just avoid expand and avoid letting the enemy expand, and that that allows you to win without having to fight their strongest defenses, which I find is helpful. The mass air is not so good an answer for the Hydralisks, but I know why Red did it because Purple's pretty strong anti-ground, and here we have just a ton of Lings. And those Colossi are just going to be impressive here. I mean, look at that. It's just... And you know what? I really like what they do with the charring of the smaller units when you kill them with lasers or fire or whatever. I just think that looks so cool. I was playing some of the Circle Tower Defense. Yeah, I actually play some tower defense games. And I just built so many flame towers, not because it's necessarily a good strategy, but just because it looks so awesome when they're burning. And one of the guys told me I needed to see a therapist or something, and I'm like, well, whatever. I mean, who doesn't like fire? Seriously. So here I follow my teammate's lead and hit the expansion. Well, I suggested we hit the expansion, but he picks the one to hit. So there you go. And he brings in mutas and focus fires there, and that's kind of out of position. Like, I have a hard time hitting the mutas. But for whatever reason, they're not microed the best. And they get caught by my Hydralisks, and I picked quite a few of them off. Look at that guy's APM, man. Boom. Hundreds of APM, but he still manages to run his Mutalisks right into the Hydralisks. So, what you can do there. And again, he's just boom, right in a wall of Hydras. So on we go. It's pretty much a final push from this point. We're feeling pretty good about our position. I actually didn't know our army distribution at the time, but as it turns out, already have a pretty significant lead here in terms of our military. Good units lost. Yeah, Red's really taking a lot of hits here. I'm not doing so hot myself, as a matter of fact. Purple's doing the best. But at this point, the game was won just because they kind of let us sit on an economy too long. So, much of that resource disadvantage I had was completely overcome by the fact that I had an expansion for so long. They did eventually kill it, but yeah, not too. By the time they killed it, I'd already mined thousands and thousands of minerals from it. So, and that's also a good part of my losses. Yeah, this is pretty much a good game at this point. So there you go. That's the conclusion of the placement league for me. And apparently I am a rank 71 platinum player for the 2-on-2 at least. So I can live with that. I'm pretty happy with getting placed in the platinum league. I wasn't sure whether or not that would be the case, but managed it. So very good. So from now on, I'll either be doing placement league games for the other modes, or seeing what I can do against my platinum brethren. So for now, the main team signing off.